So here we will try to learn about various consequences of aromaticity. In the last lecture, if you remember, I had discussed about the various concepts of aromaticity, where I had taught you about the aromaticity in benzenoid compounds, non-benzenoid compounds. Then we have also discussed with respect to azulines and anulines. Now let us see what are the consequences of aromaticity. Aromaticity के वजह से और मतलब किस किस में स्टेबिलिटी आती है और इस कंसेप्ट को हम कहाँ पे यूज कर सकते हैं, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो लेट अस सी द केमिकल कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ एरोमेटिसिटी. So we will try to discuss about the chemical consequences of aromaticity. The very first is to explain about the stability of conjugated carbocations. So we will study about the stability of conjugated carbocations. I hope all of you know very well what is a carbocation. A group of atoms where carbon atom has a positive charge. So if your carbon atom has a positive charge, you always call it as a carbocation, right? Now here, the thing is that suppose I am given various carbocations like say CH2 double bond CH2, okay, or I am given a carbocation of type, say I have this, and here the CH2 has a positive charge, right? I am given this different types of carbocation where my carbon is having a positive charge. So here you call this as allyl carbocation, children. इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Allyl carbocation. Okay? What is this called? Allyl carbocation. और जो नीचे है इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? C6H5CH2 is nothing but benzyl carbocation. So suppose such different carbocations are given, children, and I am asked to discuss that what is the order of stability of carbocation, then the concept of aromaticity, that is resonance and aromaticity, both will be helping me to predict that which of the carbocation would be more stable. Okay, so if I am given such various structures, like say I take allyl carbocation, then I took benzyl carbocation. If I try to draw the resonating structure of it, what will happen? You can see if this pair of electrons shift here, the structure will be CH2 CH double bond CH2, and now this carbon develops a positive charge, right? So this has only two resonating structures, 2 RS. Whereas if I take benzyl carbocation, what will happen? In this case, this pair of electron can shift here. Okay, so the next possible structure I get would be, say I have double bond CH2 and this carbon acquires a positive charge. Then this shifts here. So the next resonating structure is double bond CH2. Here a bond, and here I have a positive charge. Again this pi bond shifts here. Okay, and this next structure will be, I get the formation of this. So this carbon is deficient and it will have a positive charge. And finally you will observe that this bond is back to its position. So we will get the formation of this carbon will have a positive charge now. right? So altogether your first and last structure are the same. So you are having how many resonating structures? You have only 4 resonating structures. And the rule is, children, greater will be the number of RS, greater will be the stability. Okay, so to judge the stability you have to see the number of RS. So greater is the number of resonating structures, greater is the stability. Okay, what did I say? Greater is the number of resonating structures, greater is the stability of carbocation formed. So this is one of the ways, children, to judge the stability of carbocation, and it is a consequence of aromaticity. Now let me consider one more example. So naturally, if I will be given different molecules, like we have already done with benzyl carbocation here, okay, and now I will give you, say, substituted benzyl carbocations. जैसे ये एक और हाइड्रोजन की जगह मैंने एक और फिनाइल रिंग बना दिया, करेक्ट, और फिर मैंने 3 फिनाइल रिंग ले लिया इस तरह से. So you can say this is your 1 degree, this is 2 degree, and this is 3 degree carbocation. Benzyl diphenyl methyl carbocation and triphenyl methyl carbocation, right? So what are the degrees, children? This will be 1 degree, this is your 2 degree carbocation, and this is your 3 degree carbocation. You have seen that when I had 3 pi bonds, I got 4 resonating structures here. So this particular molecule has only 4 resonating structures. You can draw for this and see, you will get 7 resonating structures, and in this case you will be having 10 resonating structures, right? Therefore, if I ask you which is more stable, answer will be triphenyl will be more stable in comparison to diphenyl, and that will be more stable in comparison to your benzyl carbocation. So children, this is the way we judge the stability of various compounds given. Apart from that, we also have its discussion with respect to many more substituted aromatic compounds, like suppose they are substituted by 2 different groups, then there we will be talking about what is the effect of plus R and plus I, minus R and minus I. Okay, so that I would like to discuss when I am doing that particular chapter ka synopsis. But here I would like to focus on one more point. Suppose you have a carbocation like cyclopropyl methyl carbocation, okay, and then substituted, as I had done phenyl, we can also do this. So what do you call it, children? You will call it as cyclopropyl methyl carbocation. This is more stable even when compared to your benzyl carbocation, okay, and greater will be the number of cyclopropyl groups. This is your cyclopropyl group. जितना ज्यादा attached रहेगा इस C plus से, उतना ज्यादा वो stable रहेगा, okay, and this unusual stability is because of conjugation between the bent orbital of your cyclopropyl and the vacant p orbital of positive. I'll just show you how do you draw the resonating structures here. Suppose you take this particular structure. सबसे पहले क्या होगा, ये जो बॉन्ड है ये हाईली स्ट्रेन्ड है, बेयर स्ट्रेन थियरी है एक, जो क्या बोलता है आपका ये हर कार्बन sp3 है, एंड sp3 होने के वजह से it should have a bond angle of how much? 109 degrees and 28 minutes. But you can see here it is almost 60 degrees. So it is highly strained. वो जल्दी से breakup हो जाएगा जैसे ही चाहिए. तो यहाँ पे bond आ गया. So what is its next resonating structure, children? You will have it this way. And this carbon will develop a positive charge. Correct? Now next what should happen? what should happen in the next structure, children? Now, this particular pair of electrons, isn't it? This particular pair of electron may go here rather than this going there. So, I will get the next possible resonating structure as, मतलब ये CH2 था, इसके ऊपर पॉजिटिव चार्ज आ गया. अब क्या हो सकता है नेक्स्ट पॉसिबिलिटी? ये अपनी जगह पे ही रहेगा और ये वाला बॉन्ड यहां जा सकता था. सो व्हाट विल आई गेट? अगेन द स्ट्रक्चर वुड बी दिस वे and this carbon will develop a positive charge. Here you have CH2, please remember that. क्या present है यहाँ पे? CH2. So if I try to draw the resonance hybrid of it, how will it be? I have a structure of this type, right, where my electron, the resonance is possible between these carbons. So this develops a partial positive charge, this also develops a partial positive charge, and in one situation this also develops a partial positive charge, right? So this type of resonance will take place, children, because of high strain in this particular molecule. There is overlapping between what? Between a bent orbital. You can see here you have a bent orbital of and a vacant p orbital. Obviously यहाँ पे कार्बन के 3 ही बॉन्ड है, मतलब एक p orbital इसका vacant है, तो उन दोनों के बीच में बॉन्ड बनता है, राइट? सो अगेन वी हैव, सपोज आई एम गिवन अ मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ टाइप okay, I have tricyclopropyl carbocation, then I may have dicyclopropyl carbocation and cyclopropyl methyl carbocation. Okay, this type, then this would be most stable than this, and then the tricyclopropyl methyl carbocation, because children, the number of resonating structures will be more. So on the basis of this, I would in short like to give the stability order of carbocation. Please note it down and keep it very carefully with you, because many times you will need to refer this list, children. Okay, so what did I say? The order of stability of carbocation would be a very, very important point. A very important point to be noted. Okay, so please write it down in a good notebook. Of course, you should write everything, whatever is being taught, but still, if you are neglecting, I would like to emphasize on this. You will not find it anywhere like that only, children. So please make it a point that you note it down very carefully. Order of stability of carbocation, when many are given, how would you say? Tricyclopropyl carbocation greater than dicyclopropyl carbocation greater than cyclopropyl methyl carbocation that is greater than propylium carbocation that is greater than triphenyl carbocation, methyl carbocation, greater than diphenyl methyl carbocation, that is greater than benzyl, and that is greater than or equal to, what is it? Greater than or equal to allyl carbocation, and that is greater than trialkyl tertiary carbocation, greater than secondary carbocation, greater than a primary carbocation, that is greater than a methyl carbocation, and that is greater than a vinylic carbocation. This is least stable, children. So please note it down very carefully and keep. You will definitely need it in future. 100% इसकी जरूरत पड़ेगी. So please make a note here, children, that benzyl and your tertiary butyl. That is, suppose I take here CH3, it becomes tertiary butyl as well as allyl. All the three will have almost the same stability. That's why I had written here greater than or equal to. Here also what did I write? Greater than or equal to. So benzyl, and this is called what? Allyl, and this is called tertiary butyl. So all these carbocations will be almost equally stable. Okay. So that is the situation mentioned here. Now the next case of the consequence of aromaticity, let us see that. Okay. Let us see the next chemical consequence of aromaticity, where we will be basically learning about now various questions may also be given, like suppose you are given that a molecule of cyclopentadiene is more acidic . And what is the reason? As. Okay. If you have to answer this. And along with that, suppose you are also given a cycloheptatriene is also given along with it. Okay. Cyclopentadiene and cycloheptatriene. Two different molecules are given. And I have to discuss about the acidic nature of both the compounds. So in this situation, how do I explain the concept? Okay, that is the question. Suppose I am taking a molecule of pentadiene, okay, which has this type of structure, let me say. So children, you can see that if you talk about acidity, means it has to give H+. What does it need to give? It needs to give a H+. तो यदि मान लो ये H+ देता है ना, मतलब ये pair of electron इधर ही रह गए कार्बन के पास. So as a result of this, I will be getting the formation of this carbon develops a negative charge plus, of course, after giving H+. And if I take a molecule of cycloheptatriene, what am I taking? A molecule of cycloheptatriene, then this is the molecule I have, right? And when I talk about its acidity, it should give H+. So by giving H+, sorry, the bond should come like this, huh? So by giving H+, you will see that a negative charge is developed here, और ये मिल गया H+, right? तो होगा क्या? That this is forming a cyclopentadienine anion, right? And this follows 4n+2 rule, children. So by following 4n+2, in this case I get 6. So therefore the value of n comes to 1 and my compound is aromatic. Okay, the compound will be totally aromatic. Whereas if I take this is nothing but cyclosepta triennyl anion. And if you try to apply 4n+2 rule, children, that comes to 8. Hence my compound will be anti-aromatic. And being anti-aromatic in nature, it will be highly unstable. Or you will say that it is highly destabilized. It will be highly destabilized. Whereas this will be highly stabilized. right? Therefore, this is going to be highly acidic in nature as its anion is aromatic. Right? Whereas a cyclohepta will not be acidic in nature. बिल्कुल एसिडिटी नहीं दिखाएगा, क्योंकि एसिडिक नेचर दिखाने के वजह से उसमें क्या आ जाएगा, एंटी एरोमेटिसिटी आ जाएगा, एंड नन ऑफ द मॉलिक्यूल्स विल टॉलरेट और प्रिफर टू गो फॉर एंटी एरोमेटिसिटी. देयरफॉर इट विल अवॉइड दैट पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन, चिल्ड्रन. Similarly, children, we can also talk about the stability of carbon ions. किसके बारे में बात करेंगे हम? We will talk about the stability of carbon ions. Say, I may take a carbon ion like again allyl carbon ion. Okay, carbon with a negative charge. What is carbon ion? A carbon with a negative charge. A group of atoms where carbon atom has a negative charge. That is called as carbon ion. So now, in carbon ion also, children, what will happen? This pair of electron may shift here, and resonance is possible, as we did in case of carbocation. Here also it is possible. So this carbon acquires a negative charge, and here you have a double bond. Correct? And similarly, you can explain for this in the case of benzyl also. So this is having only two RS, two resonating structures. If you try to draw the hybrid of it, what will you show? This is equivalent to, let me say, I have CH2 single bond CH single bond CH2, and the pi bond is rotating between these two carbon and these two carbon also, where this develops a partial negative charge and this also develops a partial negative charge. And when I will talk about benzyl carbon ion, again this is having a negative charge, right? So ये यहाँ पे आ गया, तो ये बाहर आ जाएगा in the form of negative charge. So my next resonating structure would be, first I would roughly try to draw the basic benzyl group, and then I will continue with the resonating structures. So what is happening, children, in each case? ये pair of electron इधर आ गया, तो यहाँ पे डबल बॉन्ड हुआ, राइट? और ये यहाँ जो बॉन्ड था वो बाहर आ गया नेगेटिव चार्ज के फॉर्म में. बाकी बॉन्ड वैसे के वैसे ही आपके. अब नेक्स्ट क्या होगा? ये पेयर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इधर जाएगा, सो दिस कम्स आउट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ अ नेगेटिव चार्ज. ओके, सो हियर यू हैव अ पाई बॉन्ड, एंड हियर यू हैव अ डबल बॉन्ड, एंड हियर यू हैव अ बॉन्ड. Now next what will happen? This pair of electron would shift here, and this comes out in the form of negative charge. So my next resonating structure would be, here I have a negative charge, इधर तो है ही bond, यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे bond आ गया. And finally what will happen? This pair of electron goes here and this bond shifts back to its position. So my first and last structure remain the same. So you can see, children, in case of benzyl you have 4 RS, 1, 2, 3 and 4 resonating structures, because first and last is the same. So to account for the stability of carbon ion also, I can make use of the concept of resonating structures or aromaticity. Therefore, you can say that when you talk about anions, children, anion in which the negative charge is present on the carbon, okay, I write the statements here, please make a note of it. What did we say? Anions in which the negative charge is present on the carbon of aromatic system. is called aromatic carbon ion. And they are always the most stable carbon ions. Please remember, aromatic carbon ions are the most stable carbon ions. And the anions which obey Huckel's rule are stable. Okay? All the anions that obey Huckel's rule are stable, are highly stable, you can say. So just now we saw here, children, we discussed about cyclopentadienyl carbon ion, है ना? This becomes your carbon ion क्योंकि यहाँ कार्बन पे नेगेटिव चार्ज है और आपने देखा कि हक्कल्स रूल के हिसाब से एरोमेटिक है और हाईली स्टेबल है. तो आपको ये भी याद रखना पड़ेगा कि कोई भी एनायंस जो हक्कल्स रूल को ओबे करेंगे दे विल बी हाईली स्टेबल इन नेचर. सो ऑर्डर ऑफ स्टेबिलिटी ऑफ कार्बन आयन वुड बी aromatic carbon ions will be always greater than your benzyl carbon ion, that would be greater than allyl carbon ion, that would be greater than acetylenic carbon ion, which is greater than vinyl carbon ion, and that is greater than alkyl carbon ion, in which 1 degree will be greater than 2 degree will be greater than 3 degree. Right, children? So this is the way I can predict the stability of various carbon ions. So here in this order you can place here methyl also. So methyl will be greater than 1 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 3 degree. So children, please keep a very good note of it. All these carbocations, carbon ions and their stability orders, whichever I am teaching you, please try to note them down very carefully and keep them with you. And then you know that one more you have is a free radical. Okay, and the order of free radical, stability order of free radical would be exactly same as in the case of your C plus. So as you write for C plus, similarly you write for a free radical, means carbon with 1 electron. So basically whether it is C plus or C minus, they are the result of heterolytic fission. Now children, homolytic and heterolytic fission are very basic concepts. So I am not taking it here, and you have very well learned it in your 11th standard also. Still, if you want, you can request your the classes. We have a video lecture of homolysis and heterolytic fission also for 11th standard. So you can just ask them and see the video if you are interested. So basically, if I will take any molecule and I carry out heterolytic fission, then my reagents would be either a carbon with a positive charge or a carbon with a negative charge, where you can say the carbon with a positive charge is your electrophile and carbon with a negative charge is a nucleophile. And if it will undergo homolytic fission, children, the product will be a free radical. So order of stability of whether C plus or C minus और योर मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ फ्री रेडिकल इस तरह से इंडिकेट करते हैं, ये फ्री रेडिकल हो गया. तो फ्री रेडिकल का और कार्बोकेटायन का स्टेबिलिटी ऑर्डर एकदम सेम, कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होगा. सो दीज आर द बेसिक कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ रेजोनेंस. चिल्ड्रन, वी हैव मेनी मोर, सो I will be specifying those particular consequences only when I will be taking the subsequent topics, है ना. Now let us proceed to for the mechanism of reaction. So these were the various types of reagents, children, where I took a carbocation, a carbanion, and a free radical. We have many more in our JE. Like you may learn about benzynes, you may learn about nitrines, carbenes. ओके ये सब भी है जहां पे कि नाइट्रीन्स को इमिडोजीन्स भी बोलते हैं. So whenever I will require it in any particular mechanism, there I will give you the list of compounds, children. Okay. So this was about your carbocation, carbanion, and free radical. See SN1 mechanism. Where 1 stands for unimolecular, N stands for nucleophilic, S stands for substitution reaction. So it basically stands for unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. SN1 mechanism is nothing but unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction, where we will be discussing about the alkaline hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. Okay, what does it involve, children? Alkaline hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. Children, you can just consider it to be a part of your 12th standard also, because I think it was left over in HDA. So I'll just take it, because without this I cannot take the entrance part. So we are talking about the SN1 mechanism that involves the alkaline hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. Now in the chapter halogen derivatives as well as your alcohols, you have seen the alkaline hydrolysis, जहां पे halogen derivatives में this was the chemical property, and in alcohol it becomes the method of preparation, because I take a molecule of tertiary butyl bromide, and when I say carry out the alkaline hydrolysis, what do? You will treat it with either aqueous solution of NaOH or KOH. किससे treat किया मैंने? Aqueous solution of NaOH or KOH. So what do I get? We have learned, we are saying that it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. So this is my nucleophile Br and OH. So Br is substituted by OH. Okay, and the product formed will be tertiary butyl alcohol plus a molecule of KBr. So here I take tertiary butyl bromide and the product formed in the reaction is tertiary butyl alcohol okay, tertiary butyl bromide, and the product formed in the reaction is tertiary butyl alcohol. So children, mechanism of reaction में हम basically क्या सीखते हैं? Mechanism of reaction will tell us about the various changes that will operate in the molecule during this conversion. Every step पे क्या होता है reaction में, वो explain करता है हमें mechanism of reaction. Okay, and to understand it in a very better way, we can make use of energy profile diagram. What will we make use of? Energy profile diagram. So what is energy profile diagram? It is basically a graph that is obtained by plotting the reaction progress or the reaction coordinates on x-axis with potential energy in kilojoules per mole on y-axis. Okay. What is EPD children? EPD इसको हम शॉर्ट में क्या बोलते हैं? EPD मतलब एनर्जी प्रोफाइल डायग्राम. ये क्या बताता है? What is EPD? If you are asked, what will you say? It is a graph that is obtained by plotting the reaction progress or reaction coordinates on x-axis with potential energy in kilojoules per mole on the y-axis. So when you will draw the plot, children, you get a curve of this type. Okay, and we have various points in the curve. Say here I have point A and here point B, where point B is also called as the transition state. What do I call it? Transition state. And this is my point C. This is point D. I will explain you each and every point, not to worry. And this is point E. Okay. Here I had written EA1 means activation energy. EA stands for activation energy and this is EA2. Okay, this is your second activation energy, first activation energy and second activation energy, and this is delta H. So in thermodynamics you must have learned, children, delta H is nothing but the heat of reaction, and there are two transition states here. This is called TS1, that is first transition state, and the other one is called as TS2. This is my second transition state. So what is this called, children? Point C, point E, and here you have D. I hope it is visible now. And this was your particular point B. And what did I say? These are your activation energy from here to here. And this particular is your second activation energy. From a particular point A to B, the energy required to reach this particular transition state, okay, is called as activation energy. I will still explain that in detail. Now, if I want to write the ionic form of this reaction, children, how do I write? The ionic form of the reaction can be written as any reaction is basically written as substrate plus reagent. Will give us product plus living group. This is how I will write an organic reaction. Substrate plus reagent will give me product plus living group. So here, what is my substrate? Nothing but tertiary butyl bromide. And what is my reagent? Reagent is a nucleophile OH minus. And the substitution of nucleophile is taking place in the reaction. And I get the product tertiary butyl alcohol. And what is the living group, children? Br minus. Okay. So this is called the ionic form of reaction. How did I write it? Substrate plus reagent is giving me product plus living group. This is the way to represent the reaction. Now, if you see the kinetics of reaction, children, it has been experimentally determined that you have to mention it here. It has been experimentally determined that rate is proportional only to the molar concentration of substrate and not the nucleophile. Or I can write it as rate is equal to some constant K into molar concentration of substrate. What is my substrate here? Tertiary butyl bromide, where K is called as what? You have learned in kinetics, called as specific rate constant. So what did we say? Rate is proportional to the molar concentration of substrate. As the rate is dependent only on the concentration of one species, here the order of reaction is 1. Hence, the reaction called as unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. क्या बोलते हैं इसको हम? Unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. Children, the way in which I am writing exactly like this you have to write in your exam. Every step is going to carry some marks. Okay, so you have to very specifically follow that. So here the reaction, by looking at the EPD, children, you can say that the reaction is taking place in 2 steps. ये एक्चुअली 2 ग्राफ का कॉम्बिनेशन है. एक ये ग्राफ है और ABC एक ग्राफ है और CDE एक और ग्राफ है. तो EPD खुद मुझे बताता है कि रिएक्शन 2 स्टेप में हो रहा है, रिएक्शन 1 स्टेप में नहीं हो रहा है. सो लेट अस सी व्हाई द रिएक्शन टेक्स प्लेस इन 2 स्टेप्स. नाउ सपोज माय न्यूक्लियोफाइल इज ट्राइंग टू अटैक फ्रॉम द फ्रंट साइड. न्यूक्लियोफाइल यदि आगे से अटैक करने का कोशिश करे तो नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि अनइक्वली स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यूक्लियोफाइल इज प्रेजेंट एंड देयर विल बी रिपल्शन नेगेटिव नेगेटिव के बीच में, एंड द पोटेंशियल एनर्जी ऑफ द सिस्टम विल गो ऑन इंक्रीजिंग, बढ़ता ही चला जाएगा. और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी बढ़ता चला गया तो कभी भी स्टेबल बॉन्ड नहीं बनेगा. सो द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ फ्रंट साइड अटैक इज जस्ट नॉट पॉसिबल. So now what will my nucleophile try to do? It will go and try to attack the C from the back side. इस कार्बन पे पीछे से अटैक करने की कोशिश करेगा. So front side attack was not possible because of the presence of an equally strong nucleophile present over there. So what is my molecule trying to do? My nucleophile is trying to attack on the central carbon from the back side. So let us see what is the possibility of backside attack. Now my molecule looks somewhat like this, children. I have a CH3 here, a C here, and a Br here, which is a very strong nucleophile. And here also you have CH3 and CH3. All my carbon atoms are sp3 hybridized. So I will roughly draw a sketch and show you how would it look. Okay? तो ये कार्बन खुद sp3 है क्योंकि इसके सब बॉन्ड सिंगल है. तो सबसे पहला ये कार्बन का स्ट्रक्चर sp3 है ना, कुछ इस तरह से. You know how we draw a sp3 molecule. अब फिर ये सब कार्बन खुद sp3. Roughly I am drawing a sketch, children. Again, this carbon is also sp3. और इस सब पे हाइड्रोजन. और बिल्कुल ऐसा ही आप यहां पे भी इमेजिन करो. सो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? सो मेनी बल्की ग्रुप्स आर प्रेजेंट. इतने मोटे मोटे ग्रुप्स इस कार्बन के गोल से बैठे हैं. यदि न्यूक्लियोफाइल आना चाहे तो आए किधर से? जगह ही नहीं है इसको. इट इज फेसिंग फिजिकल रेस्ट्रिक्शन. ओके, व्हाट इज फेसिंग फिजिकल रेस्ट्रिक्शन? The nucleophile is facing a physical restriction, and this physical restriction placed because of the presence of 3 bulky methyl group. तीन मोटे मोटे ग्रुप्स बैठे हुए हैं. So such a physical restriction that is placed because of the presence of 3 bulky methyl groups is called steric hindrance. What is it called, children? Steric hindrance. Hence, you have to mention in the answer that front side attack, FSA, is not possible because an equally strong nucleophile is present, and backside attack is not possible due to steric hindrance. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Due to steric hindrance. What is steric hindrance? If you want to define, how can you say it, children? The physical restriction. What do you say? The physical restriction to the attack of nucleophile due to the presence of three bulky methyl groups. What do we call it, children? The physical restriction to the attack of nucleophile due to the presence of three bulky methyl groups. This is called steric hindrance. So we saw that the front attack is not possible because of equally strong nucleophile, and backside attack is not possible because of the presence of three bulky methyl groups, and you just call it as steric hindrance. So this particular point in the board exam will give you 1 mark. So now what the molecule has to do? That is a question कि अभी करे क्या molecule? तो molecule क्या करता है यहाँ पे? पहले अपना वजन कम करेगा. Okay? And the reaction therefore takes place in 2 steps. So let us try to see the steps involved in the reaction. So the very first step, children, what happens? I have a tertiary butyl bromide molecule, and inductive effect operates here, as a result of which the polarization of this bond takes place towards the more electronegative atom because of large difference. So inductive effect यहाँ पे ऑपरेट हुआ और CBr के बीच का बॉन्ड पोलराइज हो गया, as a result of which कार्बन पे पार्शियल पॉजिटिव चार्ज आ गया और Br पे पार्शियल नेगेटिव. और फिर क्या होगा? यहाँ पे इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट का सिंबल सेंटर ऑफ द एरो पे बॉन्ड दिखा दिया आपने, तो वो इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट का सिंबल हो गया. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन? We have learned that the tertiary butyl carbocation is highly stable due to what? Resonance. You have seen that you can draw a number of hyperconjugative structures of it. So here what happens is this will immediately give this pair of electron to bromine by लेके जा, मैं तो ऐसे भी stable हूं. So you get a tertiary butyl carbocation and Br minus. Correct? So this step is called as, the first step is called as formation of tertiary butyl carbocation. क्या बोलते हैं इसको? Formation of tertiary butyl carbocation. And children, it has been experimentally determined that this step is the slow step and hence is called as the rate determining step. RDS है ये. एक ऐसा step है, it is the slow step, therefore it is called as the rate determining step. Now let us see the second step. अब एक बार कार्बोकेटायन बन गया, we know that what is carbocation, what is the shape of carbocation, we have learned it, children. The hybridization of carbocation is sp2. What is the hybridization of this? It is sp2 hybridized. And when it is sp2 hybridized, what is the shape of it? It is trigonal planar. You can see it is trigonal planar, being sp2 hybridized. And the bond angle is 120 degrees. अब जगह ही जगह हो गया. अब न्यूक्लियोफाइल क्या करेगा? फ्रंट से भी अटैक करेगा और बैक से भी अटैक करेगा. अब सेकेंड स्टेप का नाम हो गया अटैक ऑफ न्यूक्लियोफाइल. और कभी कभी आप कुछ बुक्स में इसको देखोगे फॉर्मेशन ऑफ प्रोडक्ट भी लिखा रहता है. ओके, सो अब क्या हुआ, मेरे पास टर्शरी ब्यूटाइल कार्बोकैटायन अवेलेबल है जो कि ट्राइगोनल प्लेनार ज्योमेट्री का है, और न्यूक्लियोफाइल आएगा OH माइनस और आगे से भी अटैक करेगा और पीछे से भी अटैक करेगा. इट विल ट्राई टू अटैक फ्रॉम दी आइदर साइड्स. ओके, it attacks from the either side. We say it like that. So now यदि front side attack किया, front side attack and back side attack, दो possibility है. तो front side यदि attack करेगा तो what will happen children? जिधर से OH गया वहां पे ही bond बनना चालू हो जाएगा, और जब back side attack करेगा तो जिधर से OH गया उसके ऑपोजिट साइड अटैक करेगा. राइट? सो दिस कार्बन will develop a positive charge and this will develop a negative charge. Okay, and children, this becomes a transition state. इसको क्या बोलते हैं हम? ट्रांजिशन स्टेट. और यहाँ पे ये आपका ट्रांजिशन स्टेट हो गया. ओके, where this is called as TS1, transition state 1, and this is called as transition state 2, and finally this gives the product. Okay, so now try to understand this particular thing with your graph which you have plotted. सबसे पहले point A पे आपके पास क्या present है? Your reactant, that is tertiary butyl bromide. पॉइंट बी क्या हुआ आपका? ट्रांजिशन स्टेट, ये वाला. जब बॉन्ड वीक हो रहा है, पोलराइज हो रहा है बाय इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट, तो अनस्टेबिलिटी आ गई मॉलिक्यूल में और सिस्टम की पोटेंशियल एनर्जी बढ़ जाएगी फिर से. तो दिस स्टेट वेयर द बॉन्ड मेकिंग एंड ब्रेकिंग इज विल बी टेकिंग प्लेस विल बी योर ट्रांजिशन स्टेट 1. और फिर एक बार आपका स्टेबल कार्बोकैटायन बन गया, दैट इज पॉइंट सी. Point C is nothing but your stable tertiary butyl carbocation. Now once this is formed, what will happen? Again at point D is nothing but your this particular transition state which is formed either by front side attack or back side attack. फिर से एक आया और बॉन्ड बनने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तो D point क्या हो गया? कोई सा भी ले लो आप, फ्रंट या बैक वाला, यहां पे दिखाने के लिए, विथ पार्शियल पॉजिटिव, यहाँ पे इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट का सिंबल, और OH जुड़ रहा है विथ अ पार्शियल नेगेटिव चार्ज. एंड फाइनली चिल्ड्रन एट पॉइंट D you will get your product. So what is E? If this is the case, my product formed will be CH3 thrice COH, स्टेबल टर्शरी ब्यूटाइल अल्कोहल बन गया, एंड ये उसका रिवर्स. ओके, सो you get two different products children where 50% is retained. मतलब जैसा रिएक्टेंट था बिल्कुल वैसा प्रोडक्ट का कॉन्फ़िगरेशन होगा, है ना, और 50% उल्टा बना. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड रिटेंशन. व्हाट इज इट कॉल्ड? रिटेंशन. एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड इन्वर्शन. So you are getting basically a product that has 50% retention and 50% inversion. So such a product which has 50%, such a mixture is called as racemic mixture. When I will talk about optical activity, I will elaborate this particular part in detail. Okay. So such products which will have 50% retention and 50% inversion are called as what? Racemic mixture. Hence we conclude that SN1 leads to racemization. SN1 क्या देता है? Racemic mixture देता है. I in short repeat it again, children, just see. We were talking about SN1 mechanism, where SN1 is nothing but unimolecular nucleophilic substitution, and that basically involves the alkaline hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. And this is the reaction we wrote for alkaline hydrolysis of tertiary butyl bromide. Now here we said that we are writing the ionic form of reaction, which says that any substrate plus reagent gives us product plus leaving group, and for that we wrote it in the ionic form, okay, where we substituted a nucleophile Br minus in the presence of OH minus, and we said that experimentally it has been determined that rate is proportional to the molar concentration of substrate. If you want, you can write here substrate in words. I directly wrote tertiary butyl bromide as that is my substrate in the reaction. Okay, so here we said that rate is proportional to the molar concentration of substrate or tertiary butyl bromide, or we replace the proportionality by a constant K, where K is called as the specific rate constant. As the rate is dependent on the concentration of only one species, we said that the order of reaction is 1. And to understand it in better way, children, the experiment has given us a graph which is called as energy profile diagram. In short, I call it as EPD. So what is EPD? It is a graph which is obtained by plotting the reaction progress on x-axis with potential energy in kilojoules per mole on y-axis. If you want, you can write the definition. So the reaction basically says that it involves 2 steps. Why it takes place in 2 steps, I had explained you already. I said that the front side attack is not possible because of the presence of equally strong nucleophile, and the back side attack is not possible due to steric hindrance. बैक साइड अटैक क्यों नहीं होता है? बिकॉज ऑफ स्टेरिक हिंड्रेंस. तो अब मॉलिक्यूल क्या करता है? पहले अपना वजन कम करता है और रिएक्शन 2 स्टेप में हो रहा है. Where the first step is called as the formation of tertiary butyl carbocation, and it is a slow step, hence called as rate determining step. तो आपने tertiary butyl bromide लिया, इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी डिफरेंस के वजह से कार्बन और ब्रोमीन के बीच में इंडक्टिव इफेक्ट ऑपरेट होगा और CBr का बॉन्ड वीक हो गया, एंड प्रोडक्ट क्या बन गया? टर्शरी ब्यूटाइल ब्रोमाइड. एंड यू कैन सी टर्शरी ब्यूटाइल ब्रोमाइड बना है where the carbon is sp2 hybridized and has a trigonal planar geometry with a bond angle of 120 degrees. So once this is formed, children, we know it is highly stable by hyperconjugation. We have seen the application already. And then what will happen? अब जगह ही जगह है तो न्यूक्लियोफाइल आगे से भी अटैक करेगा और पीछे से भी अटैक करेगा. So again it results in transition state 2, where this is the result of front side attack and this is the result of back side attack, and finally you get the product which is racemic mixture. So here I have 2 terms. What are they? The terms are activation energy. What is activation energy? It is the minimum amount of energy that is given to the reactant to reach the transition state. आप reactant को जो energy देते हो transition state तक पहुंचने के लिए, है ना? इसलिए ट्रांजिशन स्टेट जो होता है वो अनस्टेबल होता है बिकॉज इट्स एनर्जी इज हाई. सो द एनर्जी गिवन टू एक्टिवेट योर रिएक्टेंट्स टू रीच द ट्रांजिशन स्टेट इज कॉल्ड एक्टिवेशन एनर्जी. ओके, देन व्हाट इज ट्रांजिशन स्टेट? इफ आई कंसिडर स्टेप 1, A is my reactant and C is my product. Okay, and B is my transition state which is intermediate between my reactant and product. So I will say a transition state is highly unstable and short lived. Obviously जो unstable होगा वो थोड़ी देर रुकेगा. क्यों? क्योंकि हर सिस्टम एनर्जी लूज करके स्टेबल बनना चाहता है. So the unstable short lived intermediate stage where the system has maximum potential energy, यहाँ पे potential energy सबसे ज्यादा है, and minimum stability. How do I define it, children? The unstable short lived intermediate stage where the system has maximum potential energy and minimum stability. Okay, that particular point is called as transition state. After that, you have one more term, children, to notice, that is delta H. What is delta H? Heat of reaction. And what is my heat of reaction here? It is exo or endo. You can see my reactants are at a higher state, higher energy level, and my product is at a lower energy level. फाइनल प्रोडक्ट ये हाई, देखो एनर्जी यहाँ पे पोटेंशियल एनर्जी हाई है और यहाँ पे लो है, तो एनर्जी कम हो गया, मतलब डेफिनेटली सिस्टम ने एनर्जी बाहर दे दिया, हेंस द रिएक्शन इज एक्सोथर्मिक.